Hello and welcome back to Focus Atlanta. Thanks so much for continuing to watch. In this segment, we'll learn what we need to know to avoid identity theft.
Hi, I'm Sarah Gosler, and I lead cyber resiliency and human defense at Wells Fargo. My team and I focus on empowering customers on how to be their own best defense against online threats, fraud, and scam, because consumer awareness is a critical component of strong cybersecurity. So we're here today talking about the serious matter of identity theft, what's driving it, how it happens, including the often overlooked aspect of child identity theft, and what consumers can do to help protect themselves, their families, and their accounts. So identity theft and identity fraud refer to crimes where someone wrongfully obtains and uses another person's personal data in a way that involves fraud or deception, typically for economic gain. Identity theft isn't just an inconvenience, it's a widespread and fast-growing threat facing consumers and families today. Some experts have even cited that a new case of identity theft happens about every 22 seconds in the United States. According to the Federal Trade Commission, identity theft and imposter scams are at the top of consumer fraud reports, with monetary losses tied to identity theft reporting at more than $12 billion last year. And children can be 50 times more vulnerable to identity theft than their parents. And in a recent Wells Fargo money study, 3 out of 4 people, or 77%, say they worry about fraudsters getting access to their money. Identity theft is just one way that can happen. There are a few drivers for identity theft: more data breaches, criminals innovating by combining traditional theft, like stealing mail, with digital tools and AI, and simply more personal data just being exposed online. Criminals collect and weaponize personal information using both traditional and technology-driven methods, things like social media mining, public records, data breaches, and the dark web where stolen personal information can be bought and sold. Armed with enough data, criminals can then reset passwords, bypass account recovery, open new accounts or loans, and then quietly take over existing financial accounts. One of the biggest risks in having your account compromised is credential theft, which is when criminals steal your username and password. If they steal your login for one site, they often try it everywhere, and it can become a master key. That can open the door to fraudulent transfers, unauthorized changes, and even more. Let's talk about child identity theft. It's a critical problem because it's often overlooked, and most parents aren't monitoring their children's credit or account history, so it can go unnoticed. Kids have clean credit histories, which can make them prime targets for criminals trying to create a credit profile or open accounts. Parents are understandably proud. Their kids are their pride and joy, and they tend to share a lot about their children online. But oversharing details about kids online, which is a term called sharenting, can be a goldmine for fraudsters. Also, most kids and teens spend a lot of their time online and may overshare, use unsecured networks, and may not be as vigilant in protecting or concealing personal or financial information. It's important to watch for these signs of identity theft. Something like you stop getting bills or bank statements in the mail or online, you begin to see unauthorized withdrawals or changes to your account, or unknown accounts or charges on your credit report, IRS notifications about duplicate tax filings, or unfamiliar employers. There are a lot of important everyday practices you can use to protect yourself. Let's start with a very important tip. Ensure everyone on a bank account has their own unique profile set up and they guard those credentials. Even if 2 people are on the same account, each person needs their own profile. Creating your own profile is a good step to ensuring that you keep cyber criminals out. Don't share personal information like username, password, PIN numbers, or one-time passcodes. Make sure you set up account alerts, always enable multi-factor authentication, and review your statements carefully, at least monthly. Keep your account contact information up to date. Use digital payments wherever possible instead of sending or accepting physical checks. Remember, checks are a major target for fraud, and criminals can steal those checks to commit check fraud or use personal information to commit identity theft. Store sensitive documents securely and shred what you don't need. Use strong, unique passwords and change them often. Never reuse passwords across sites, and use a password manager. It'll make it easier. Use multiple email addresses for different activities, so one for shopping, one for banking, one for personal. Wells Fargo invests significantly in fraud and identity theft protection and prevention, and in customer education. We offer security features like multi-factor authentication, passkey options, and transactions alerts. Plus, we have various educational resources through the Wells Fargo Security Center and our mobile app.
Stay tuned to more Focus Atlanta. We'll be right back.